copies of the minutes from the last meeting in front of you. Any questions or changes or?
Are we gonna get some lights on the building? Did you check on that?
Dave?
We are trying to get different prices on the LEDs. Some of them were from Kirby Risk, and some of them were for All Phase Electric. And there's two different series of lights, and so I'm waiting to get the second quote on the second series of lights. First one's, if we did like three, those are ones that obviously, we could install in front of the attic, or I could bring my bucket truck down. I don't know if I can reach it by getting on the sidewalk, but I think I could reach, majority of those.
Okay.
And just tying them into here. I'm assuming they're service.
Good.
Get a motion to approve the minutes.
I second. Or I need a motion to accept the minutes.
I second it.
Okay, all in favor? I just had a couple of comments. It's not changes, but some things that were on here from the last meeting. The tree trimming down south of Center Street, have you noticed that? That's done, and we didn't have to pay for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know, if I said it out one day, I wondered if, they would, since they wanted it done, if they would help assist us with it if they wanted it done.
Well, I got it taken care of, so.
Right through Mint City or somebody?
No, they never,
They wouldn't talk to you?
no, I called them numerous times. Finally, the fourth place that I called, the kid from up at Rochester, north of Rochester, has this, he actually has a degree from Purdue in whatever tree trimming is called.
Yeah.
Gabriel Brooks, yeah, he's the one, they did it. So, and he came and did some stuff in the park too for the township. So, yeah, that's the guy. I couldn't think of the name of it. You haven't seen flower pots out, have you?
No.
Oh, well, don't remind them.
The weather's been too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, the wind's kind of doing the tree trimming for us. So anyway, that's all there. I wanted to thank you two guys, Brian and Tom, for the outstanding IDEM report. Our sewer system got inspected and we passed, so that's always a relief. So good job, thank you, appreciate it. I don't know what the effluent limits marginal thing means.
We're just a little over the limits on the solids because of the algae was just reported in there.
Okay,
He acknowledged it with Brian.
okay,
He found out a little bit about the problem.
right. So have you guys gotten copies of this? Okay. I got an email saying that we passed and all was good, so thank you very much. Marshall's report, Matt is not here tonight because I think he has a new baby as of yesterday.
Yeah, it's supposed to be C-section on Saturday, but.
Was it Saturday?
It's supposed to be Saturday morning.
Okay. Well, I wasn't, I heard yesterday, so I don't know.
Yeah. They might have delayed it.
So we had, this is for the month of March. We had 29 and a half hours worked, 65 miles driven, one call answered, 6 traffic warnings, 1 verbal, 5 written, and assisted other agencies 1 time. So school will be out Thursday. That's usually when things pick up. Yet kids have more time to run around. Well, not just kids, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Couple of things. Valerie has sent a pile of paperwork back to NIPSCO to get that gas meter moved from the current location to closer to the firehouse. So don't know when that's going to happen, but it's eventually. You know, I understand NIPSCO has millions of customers and they're real busy, but they don't communicate real well.
No.
They just got off strike.
Oh, did they?
There was no strike over here.
Yeah, they are. They've been everywhere.
Okay.
It's
I
not
mean,
about the money though. If it's not about the money, then why didn't they go to work?
Yeah.
That's what I told them guys. I was about it. If they want all that, they're all the time. It's not about the money.
No,
It's just not about the money.
I heard on the news that just pipe fitters, the union pipe fitters, they're the ones throwing the wrench into it.
So anyway, that'll, you know, happen eventually. There was one, oh, Valerie has been working, gathering information from Duke about upgrading all the street lights in town. And it'll be a cost savings if we do it, if they're not gonna charge us for the light fixtures. And we haven't quite gotten a straight answer out of that yet.
Well, the one over here, the already got back with me, like the guy that does the repair for him, he's like, that thing's too small.
Right.
Even to replace it.
Well, so I don't know how. I know the ones along 25 were replaced about 20 years ago. The rest of them in town, I don't think have been
Yeah, the one
updated in my
next to my
lifetime.
house is down the road. When that thing went bad, they came along, of course, put one new LEDs. So, to my knowledge, like in Rochester, place like that, when the old incandescents go out, or the mercury vapor, whichever one they have, they go to LED. Now, for a town to come in and do how many ever we have along Main Street, I don't know, I wouldn't think that
Well,
they would charge for that.
according to what we have, according to the information they've provided us, we have 54 streetlights total. That's along 25 and all throughout the town. So our previous month bill, which this would have been what month? March, April, probably not.
Probably March.
March was $692.24 that we pay for streetlights and that flasher up there. And they're saying that our new monthly charge would be $569.30. So, you know, that's a savings, but still trying to figure out. I don't think that they'll charge us for the labor in installing the new lights, but I don't want to surprise, I don't want to have to come up with $54,000 or whatever that we don't have, so we'll get an answer on that.
I talked to the guy that does the work on it, and he's like, anytime you call,
And they're pretty good about, Duke's got that deal where you call in and you click the light that's supposedly out, and they're pretty good about it.
Looks like
Came on and pretty good about, I've called a couple times about power outages too, and they're pretty good about responding to that, so. So, anybody else got anything?
The storm drain on North Miller at the bottom of the hill, that's hopefully fixed now.
Okay. We got a bill on that yet?
I seen it was done.
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, one of the things on the notes for last time was we had some shingles replaced on this building, like, I forget what it was, 15 of them or something, so. The total bill for that was $600, so I thought that was
That's real
reasonable.
good.
Yeah, especially since the company made 2 trips here from Seymour, Indiana. Have you ever heard of Royalty Roofing up in Atwood? It's a big, almost nationwide, they're professional roofers, and so I called them and they sent an estimator up here. Let's just do time and material, I thought. But then the guy came the next day and was here like 2 hours or something, and yeah,
Did they get the
Voice
old
recording.
building cleared out? Did they move those?
pretty
doors?
much.
Yes.
So it's empty, nobody's using it, so, hopefully we'll get the light. No, if the floor caves in or something, nobody's gonna be in there and get hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna pull the air conditioner out of there, take it to the ponds.
Yeah, slap something over that wall and that can quit or something.
I'm not sure, I didn't have it plugged in a while ago, but
The light came on a second ago and then went back off. I haven't seen it just when you were
voice
messing.
recording for sure, but not,
Okay.
Did they get out and replace the bushes?
not yet.
No, he will.
Hmm.
All right, he gave,
That's about it. I mean,
okay, mowing's going okay and
Yeah,
this and
I
that.
finally got caught up to it.
Well, it's been a crazy spring, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's either too wet to mow and then the grass has grown so fast that,
I don't know how many times I cleaned that mower, cause I sometimes was bull wet. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's not gonna get any better.
right,
And
Well, it's gonna rain every day for.
Yeah.
Every other day for 3 weeks.
it's oil, it's like, I think last month, we had about 5 inches. Good month of April.
yeah. I saw puddles in fields today, hadn't
Yeah.
seen that in a while.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, you guys got anything?
The other thing, this is minor, but because we're talking about your street lights, I don't know how much the savings would be, but since that flasher runs 24/7, 365, I think if we could ask the state also if it could be converted to LED. They do, some of those new ones in Rochester and stuff have been converted to LED.
Okay,
So that's something else maybe we can find out. Ask Myron Cohen or somebody and try to find out. I don't know what kind of answers we give us, we can ask.
Yeah, the billing's through Duke, the billing for the flasher.
Yes, it's true,
Okay.
yeah.
well, put that,
About the flasher,
yeah,
yeah, I knew it didn't look like it was on that billing, because it would be one, because that's,
yeah, just, do we get a separate bill for it?
yes,
That's what I'm.
Oh,
and it's
okay,
paid through our
That's right.
MVH.
okay.
Hmm.
How much is that a month?
It runs between 20 and 22 a month.
I mean, I think it's probably a good idea to keep that there, but that was put there originally when the school was right over there. Cause there was a lot of traffic, going back and forth to the building, so.
They still fly them down that road. See,
I
that
know.
caution light don't have them in them.
I know. Everybody's in a hurry. Nobody knows how to turn a corner and nobody knows what a stop sign is.
Or return signal.
Yeah, or turn signal. Yeah, so check in on that. Well, what do you got for us?
Last week I went to an workshop for AIM, for the budget, and then the next day, the 15th, I had all day annual clerk treasurer schooling.
I thought you looked a lot smarter.
All right, but it had mostly to do with, the budget and, our lit that we get every month. Cause that has to do with our, our budget, and we'll know more at the end of the month
For next year's, but.
yeah, for 2027.
Tell us a little bit more about this thing that you want me to come and listen to tomorrow.
It's text.gov. It's, the only thing I'm not sure about is the price of it. It will be $500 to like install information to help the town, and then an annual fee of, what was it? I'm trying to think what it was. It was $1,000, no. The core package is $1,500 every year.
Plus the $1,000
Or
installation.
I think it was just 500.
Okay. And what will this do for us if we do it?
Like in an emergency, or, you could remind everyone about their sewer bills. Part of we don't really, I really don't communicate with part of the people, though, with renters, because of the sewer bills just go to the owners, most of them. You could, put that, we have a burn ban going, burning it all. I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure about the cost,
And this would be, if we got this, would you have to manually put in everybody's email address?
They mentioned that they were, with the post office, and we would get like 60% of the phone numbers, is what I was told. I have no idea. But, and then I'm not sure, people use Facebook, and, and that's free. And it's like, hey,
Well,
but in an emergency, that'd be good, good to be able to contact everyone.
so 10:30 tomorrow, right? The webinar, 9:30. All right.
And if, Brian was working in an area, he could, they said that he could, communicate with just that area, where he's gonna work at, and let them know.
What's this called again?
Text.gov. Well, I think it is.
Is there somebody that you deal with on a state level that's pushing this?
No, it's text MyGov. No, I was gonna ask him how many towns and cities have this, but I haven't yet.
Okay. All right, I'll come tomorrow and listen.
Check it out more.
If you wanna come over, you can. Financial reports. Did you have something else?
No, did you like this?
No, why don't you file
All right,
that?
all right.
Okay.
Was there a certain agency or something that contacted you about that, Val, or does it go through somebody from the LEPC, or is it just somebody goes around and hits all small communities? Cause in the bigger communities, obviously LEPC, I realize they're not directly related to your customers as far as
Right.
sewer, water, electric, and so on. However, if there's emergencies,
Right,
LEPC is established for those reasons as well.
what is it called?
The LEPC, Local Emergency Planning Committee,
Mm,
so that's done for, and that's not gonna be a feed anybody, but that may not cover the exact same basis of, that's during like tornadoes, natural disasters, you know. But still, there's a form of communication through LAPC, there's a form of transportation through LAPC, a form of fire protection, there's a lot of different things through LAPC. So I just didn't know like what agency.
This would be something more where us could communicate with, directly with the constituents.
I see.
Yeah, the whole town.
Yeah. I just drive around one big PA.
That has happened here before.
Oh, my.
I can remember we had,
That's what Bailey and Monty used to do.
I remember Dennis Sylvain doing it. Get on a fire truck and drive through town in Ballard.
Hmm.
There's that. What do you want me to sign here?
Just the fund report.
Like
Yeah,
this?
that's fine.
There's no back page?
There's a second page that really didn't, it just has the balance, it's whatever you want to do.
Are they giving you, have you gotten any hints about next year's budget?
No, I mean, it won't be any higher, it'll be a little lower or the same. Last year was able to do the same because we had more in our rainy day balance.
This $1,020, don't we have a fire account?
Yes, that's what it's paid through.
Okay.
It's not a normal bill, so I put that in the roofing.
I was pleasantly surprised at the roof cost.
Oh, right, I'm glad it's fixed.
Yeah. So how high will your bucket truck go, Dave?
40 foot,
Okay.
42,
So if you ever bring that up here, we have a piece of
flashing,
vinyl siding.
okay, you snap back in.
Yeah, that's like an annual thing.
My suggestion, get weather stripping adhesive, snap it in and glue that thing back in.
Like a silicone place.
Yeah, something, cause it'll just come right back out.
It'll reach like 60 foot, you put a ladder in the bucket, that's OSHA.
Yeah.
We've got obviously bigger line trucks than that, but they would hurt the property where my bucket truck's not gonna be a
Right.
big deal. We get in yards and everything else with it, cause we have to.
You ready for school to be over?
I guess.
Well, I figured a days, right? You start that Friday.
Yes, so Monday I'll be evening here and by appointment. Three to 5, yes, Tuesday, Thursday.
You double check, I think I got them all. solid waste meeting tomorrow, you got any complaints or anything about that?
So if we agree on the lights, when will they do that? You don't know.
What did it say? I could ask.
I think it'd be nice for one of the Duke engineers to, you know, come down and address this or.
Well, she's working with, sales, you know, a person that deals with towns,
Mhm.
municipalities, so. Okay, we need a motion to acknowledge the financial reports.
I make a motion.
I second.
All in favor? And we need a motion to pay the bills.
I make a motion, we pay the bills.
I'm second.
All in favor?
I think we're gonna have to anyway, if we're not paying.
Well, she's gonna pay them whether we do it or not.
How many smoke detectors we put up? Don't they
Do
go
we?
some, yeah, right here. Replaced all the stage lights and ceiling and smoke detectors.
This
Oh,
one
that was in-
really high in the ceiling.
Yeah,
Oh,
Had a,
I didn't know if they required a smoke detector for so many feet.
well, whatever the zoning required to begin with is here, and then we replace some, you know, where the batteries were run down or whatever, and I don't know, what, did those lights on the stage quit, or? what was-
one was,
Okay,
one was out.
Yeah, and I talked to the contractor, he's like, we're gonna bring lifted to do it, you want us just throw all LEDs
Yeah.
in? Said, sure.
I don't know.
oh, you guys did the signs.
That's right.
Andy, you got any words of wisdom for us?
No, I don't think I have anything, in particular. I am headed back in June to the municipal law conference. I try to do that every year. I think your June meeting will happen before that. But if there is anything that's a particular concern you want me to keep my ear to the ground for, I'm sure there'll be more discussion on the township modification bill. But and the general panic setting in with budget constraints going into 2027. But I don't have anything specific. Those are just kind of just general thoughts.
So those work pretty well, nonpartisan kind of information.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You mean that conference?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So for that moratorium, man, at least for one fiscal year, basically is what that is for. During that year, do we need to have concerns or be concerned with anything? Or is that just something that, man, we're all gonna hear about, there's gonna be more about it come up all the time? And since you're, well, at least smarter than me for sure, I don't know about the rest of them, but are you gonna follow that and bring things to light that we need to be concerned with if there are concerns? Or
Yeah,
for a year, is there nothing needs to be worried about?
Well, for a year, what's going on is there's a data center committee. And the data center committee, next month is kind of gonna be giving its initial report, at least to the Plan Commission, and probably will follow up 3 more months. And that creation of that by the Plan Commission was kind of part and parcel to the recommendation of the moratorium. It's not just enough to stop this. The APC said, well, let's stop and let's find a way to study it. And so that's kind of what the committee is doing. So the committee's job is to bring recommendations back to the area plan commission. So what you might have is you might have a recommendation after, you might have an official recommendation from the plan commission, like they have to vote on a recommendation, that says, okay, we're gonna look at what the committee said, and we're gonna make these recommendations. And those recommendations, because of the plan commission, will always be about how to modify the zoning ordinances. They don't make recommendations about economic development, they don't make recommendations on environmental policy. They make recommendations on how should this, if at all, how should it change how we zone for this, okay? And that's why their initial recommendation came back to you. You know, most recommendations the plan commission makes to you are what I call kind of a shotgun approach at the end of the year or every 2 or 3 years, where they say, yeah, we've gone through the plan commission, I'd like to change these 13 different things spread across a really big book of ordinances, like zoned industrial doesn't say anything about, you know, business X, and that's really common. So we just like to add a special exception or like to add a category, because that's, and often it's just to keep up of what people are using properties for, you know? And, but this one was kind of unique in that obviously there was already a change set to go into effect January 1. And then after that change was approved, there was some pushback, and that caused the plan commission to have its February meeting and say, okay, we'll recommend a moratorium. So, but yeah, there's nothing you need to do on it now. I would say just keep in mind how important your appointments to the BZA are. Okay, think of the job, if this has never been explained before, at least I don't know that we've really gone into detail about it here. The way the planning works in Fulton County is we have an area plan commission. There's kind of another thing that Indiana allows communities to do called an advisory plan commission. It works a little differently. We have an area plan commission, and we have 4 BZAs. We have a Rochester, Fulton County, an Akron, and a Kiwanis/Fulton BZA. And a few years ago, we were struggling to have quorum in some of the meetings. And it's disappointing to someone who wants to ask local government for permission to use their property in a certain way, and they file that petition, they show up 5 or 6 weeks later and have a meeting, and there's no decision, so the project has to wait. I mean, that's kind of not a good look for the community. So one of the things they did is they said, okay, as long as someone has taken an oath as a BZA member, if one of the BZA boards might be struggling to have quorum, we can bring over a member from one of the other BZAs, okay? So if Heather comes to you and says, you guys could use another appointment for the board, keep in mind, that person might not just be making a decision about something in Fulton or in Kiwanis. If Akron's having trouble getting quorum, Heather can pick up the phone and that person can end up over there. And those are important jobs for real estate development. I mean, because it's not like you're having that meeting and they walked in yesterday and filed something at Heather's office. Their plans started long ago, and they probably walked into Heather's office at a minimum 30 days before that meeting. And so it really puts some of them in a bind. It puts some of their contractors in a bind. Contractors' next job gets delayed. You know how that goes. And so I would just say the best way you can help Heather out is when she comes to you and says, hey, we're down one, whether it's she's coming to you or she's coming to Kiwanis. She says, we're down one, we need another appointment. Put it on your agenda for the next meeting. Don't kick it down the road for 3 more meetings.
Let me interject. We currently do not have a person appointed to that board, and we need to have one. So if you got anybody in mind, like Shelley Johnson or.
Right.
The good news is that when it comes to the Fulton Kiwanis BZA, it's pretty light duty. It's not uncommon to get maybe 2 or 3 requests in a 12-month period. And so at the first meeting of the BZA, they have to elect a president of the board and elect the rules of procedure. And they might only be doing it for that meeting and another one 5 months later, you know? And it's kind of one of those, I think a lot of that grows out of, Fulton County certainly wasn't the first county in the state to get, zoning. And I think having multiple BZAs was a way to sell it to people that say, hey, you still maintain as local control as we can make it.
There was a lot of resistance
I'm sure.
in our township.
I'm sure. I mean, from a person who is kind of a de facto bureaucrat when it comes to this stuff, sure be easier on me and Heather if there were one county-wide BZA that did everything.
Right.
But that's okay. We'll do it however it's set up. But it's important so, things don't get backed up. Like I said, you don't get a lot of requests, but sometimes that request can go beyond just what's happening in Fulton Kiwanis. That person might pinch hit for Rochester or for Fulton County and need to step out.
So, I've been to, just as an observer for our township or our town, maybe 3 times in 20 years, where we've actually had a hearing. So, so if you can think of somebody, we certainly could use them.
Do they have to be right here in town, or can they be on the other side of the creek?
I believe your selection has to be in town.
Yeah.
They'll have to.
Heather's office could confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that's.
Oh, good.
But no, I didn't have anything other than that, but I'll certainly let you know when there's more development. And honestly, even the area plan commission's meetings 9 times out of 10 don't draw more interest than maybe 1 or 2 people. Sometimes a neighbor will come and have an issue. So we've had a pretty eventful 5 months in the area planning and zoning in the county, that's for sure.
Anything else? If not, motion for adjournment,
I make a motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks for coming.